Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Almighty Blues FC, a fan channel for all to see. And yes, I know by now, you are like, oh my God, Ankit, come on. You can't, show your face every couple of hours. Don't worry. I'm not here just to show my face, of course. We have a new panel, and I know it's not a new panel for old watchers. It's been a long time, especially with Maisy back in the house. Devils United. Maisy, how you been?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you, Ankit? And it's just been such a long time since we've done a stream together. It's so long overdue.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I know, like, it's just that, just not about, both of us together. It's just that the time zones that I am, Maisy, how it works, right? And then it's just things have gotten from bad to worse, and my habits have changed. I've got into bad habits. I'll put it that way. Just, been kind of occupied with my daytime, but yeah, absolutely will correct much more because Manchester United, lots to talk about, and we'll get there. And that is why we have a second Manchester United panelist in the house, and that is Anshumaan. As always, my Manchester United buddy, always here. Anshumaan, how you been? I know it's been a long time with you as well, but I think it's been not such a bad few weeks for Manchester United, has it been?
Just a good last Saturday, you can say, not few weeks, just a good Saturday. And we are
Yeah,
jumping with joy as if, we have won the Premier League or something. But yeah, obviously, when you win in such a fashion, the greatest of all time
yeah.
scoring a hat trick and that were the home ground, it obviously pumps you up. And that's why we are so excited about tonight's game. Obviously nervous, obviously fearful because Simeone in the house, we all know how he plays, we all know how his team is. So obviously, but yeah, riding on the Cristiano hat trick.
I can certainly relate to that as a Chelsea fan. Both our teams actually got it in the last minutes, last weekend. So exactly feel, and especially, us being literally being targeted with the whole world. Every Chelsea fan feels like that right now. I know, as in it's debatable, but again, I can exactly feel, what you're feeling, Anshuman. So I have some kind of sympathy there. I'll give you that one, right? But again, big up to the people joining, and of course, yes, long time that you've not seen this panel. Hopefully, you will kind of enjoy the session. We are going to discuss about not just Manchester United, Atletico Madrid, some Ajax versus Benfica, some surprise possibly there. And of course, Arsenal, Liverpool also will be discussed here. So hopefully you guys stay till the end. And yes, please do smash that like button, press the bell notification icon because we will be coming back with a lot more, European panel again. That was basically our USP, and that's something that we will be, looking forward to. I'm pretty sure Macy, you will be back as well pretty soon. But yes, of course, big up to Macy and big up to Chelsea perspective. Always here to support one of the best Chelsea panels out there. But well, Macy, where do we start? I have to start, I think, where Anshuman said, and it has got to be, I think, this match, Atletico Madrid versus Cristiano Ronaldo is what you would say, or Simeone versus Ronaldo. Yet again, round two of this particular year. 25 goals, maybe is it that Cristiano Ronaldo scored against Atletico Madrid after
Yeah,
that hat trick? So what do you reckon? Like, it'll be Simeone winning this battle, or you think Ronaldo will definitely get one over Simeone again?
you know what? In my mind and in my heart, it's saying two different things because I feel like so torn. Because one part of me thinks if we're gonna concede early like we did against Atletico, I think it's gonna be game over for Manchester United. It's a very low scoring game. We all know that Atletico, once they do score, they do put the brake on a bit. We noticed it in the last game that they do tend to put um uh, play very defensively minded until they end up conceding themselves. But we've seen it ever since the Manchester United versus Atletico. They've actually been unbeaten. So they've actually got a good race, unbeaten run at the moment. Whereas Manchester United lost in that derby a couple of weeks back. So
Yeah, yeah,
um,
good point.
they've got a better record than us at this moment in time. However, we all know what Manchester United can do when they're at Old Trafford. We always say that our fans are always our 12th man as well. So hopefully, knowing that there is Old Trafford, Cristiano Ronaldo, we've seen him get a last minute goal at Villarreal. We've seen him get a goal against Atalanta. We know Bruno Fernandes can put his mind to it. He's had every single assist so far in every single Champions League game so far for me. So I actually say he's been more key than Cristiano Ronaldo coming into this into the Champions League campaign. I know a lot of people do argue that it's Ronaldo and he's the person who got us there, but you always look at the person who creates it. That person who creates it is just as important as the person who's scoring it. Like you look at obviously your Champions League final, Mason Mount assisting, and without that Mason Mount assist, will Kai Havertz ever have scored? You just
Yeah,
never
absolutely.
know.
Great point, great point, great point. But Bruno Fernandes, first of all, is he fit? Because I know that he
Yes.
was probably ill. Okay, that's great news. That's great news for Manchester United fans. But again, I'll just take a comment before going to Anshuman on this point. And this comment is very important. Yes, I know it's a very sensitive topic right now, especially among the Chelsea fan base, and we are split. I have to be honest here. Yes, absolutely, it's unfair. If the game is played behind closed doors, absolutely not done. For Middlesbrough, it is probably their cup final. It is the biggest game of probably last few years, you can say, right? Playing against the champions of Europe at home. So Chelsea demanding that, it is their right. So Chelsea, I don't think they're doing anything wrong in demanding that. I'm pretty sure even they didn't expect that to be done, but they expected a middle ground because their argument was the ticket sales that going to be for the Chelsea fans will probably not go to Roman Abramovich. And as a Chelsea fan, I would like to say if that is the case, if it's going to maybe Middlesbrough or to charity, why not actually have the Chelsea fans as well? Because even for us, FA Cup we valued very very highly. We are one of the so-called big clubs who definitely valued really highly. So it's really crucial for us to have some fans out there, and Middlesbrough will have an upper hand. But again, maybe Middlesbrough deserve it. You can probably say, and especially Manchester fans in the house, you'll probably agree, right? As in, having lost to Middlesbrough, you feel that okay, fine, at least better go and beat Chelsea as well. Otherwise, what was the use of that loss, right? That's what you would say, right? But Anshuman, I think Maisy made a great point about Bruno Fernandes. Having said that, you spoke about the weekend win. The weekend we saw Cristiano Ronaldo. He was immense, right? As in, he was a Cristiano Ronaldo of old, dropping back, playing assist for himself almost, right? So that is something that maybe you will probably take it from him if Bruno Fernandes and him play, or maybe you'll bench Pogba. What is your approach for this particular game, considering the first leg?
Obviously, Pogba goes on bench. There is no way you are going to play Pogba against Atletico side who are just going to keep on pressing. We have seen that in the first leg. He didn't even get like 10 touches. They were all over him. He likes to showboat. He can do that when we play against the mid-table clubs. But Atleti knows if we lose the ball in in that area of the pitch, then the people who are tracking back are basically Fred, or today might be McTominay or Matic, whoever plays. So obviously, I think against Spurs, like Fred had his best game in a United t-shirt. He was like everywhere. He was nutmegging people, from his own area, taking the ball away. He was like, finally got his Brazilian passport back. He lost it somewhere, for the first 2 years. He got it back. So when we talk about that, when we see that what Fred can do when someone like Matic plays, that shows how much we need a CDM going forward in the next, season. But yeah, coming back to the point, obviously, Ronaldo, Bruno, I absolutely love them. But what frustrates me is that Bruno needs to understand that Ronaldo is not the entire United team. When he gets the ball, the only thing he is looking to do is, the magical ball to Ronaldo. If it goes to him, absolutely brilliant. But how many times it's going to go to him? Out of 100 might be 5, might be 10. For the rest of the time, you're just losing possession. He is a brilliant player, Bruno Fernandes. That's what he can do. He can put any ball from any area of the pitch. But then you have to understand that you are playing as a number 10. You are playing in a big game. And if you just keep on trying to give the ball to Ronaldo, obviously they will double team him. Two center backs on Ronaldo, and then all of a sudden you look like a fool. Because you have no plan B. All you want to do is to give the ball to Ronaldo. And when he is man marked, you are just looking for anyone, then you are trying any sort of a balls and it's going straight to the defenders or to the goalkeeper. So he needs to keep his head calm. I have absolutely no doubt he just might come in and score the winner today, or come up with all of, world class assist. That's what he can do. But he needs to understand that he can, he also makes the team a bit vulnerable.
Yeah.
When he's trying all sort of balls, because we don't have a
trying a bit too much. You can say basically he tries a bit too much at times.
In the midfield, that if he loses the ball, he will just go out and get the ball back. We have McTominay, we have Fred. Fred gets bulldozed, like literally bulldozed. You do him shoulder to shoulder, he will fall on the ground. Then you have McTominay. He loses the ball as well. So overall, what I want is just keep the midfield sorted. We cannot go into this game, expecting a better result in the last game. It had everything, you know, Cristiano scoring goals. Then we have, Fred coming up with such a masterclass, Matic doing well. But yeah, then again, we have Harry Maguire. So that's my biggest worry.
We'll come to the defense. Don't worry. I'm
Yeah.
waiting for it. Like I'm waiting for it, Anshuman. Like that is one of my agendas. But yeah, as in no pun intended, definitely pun is intended there, right? But yeah, as in people watching again, now over 15 people watching. I hope everyone has liked the stream. It certainly helps the algorithm. And of course, do check out basically our playlist. Yes, it's been a while that we have come up with the international panel, and that's something that I believe we'll be starting again much more. Because of the time difference, things weren't possible at my end, but hopefully we'll mix it up a bit. And yes, of course, we are having a lot of opposition shows and trivia shows again. So stay tuned for them. But yeah, any people who have not checked out Devils United, the United Road, strongly recommended. Trust me, opposition channels. Despite that, I am recommending. So you know what I mean, right? Especially Chelsea fans. Pretty sure I've been there a couple of times on each of those channels. You have to check them out. Maisy, you're covering, I think, even women's football these days, right? So that's something that I'm really looking forward to. I always tune in and I get to learn a lot. And I'm pretty sure, the United Road, Anshumaan, he was on a break, but he's back now with a bang. So you'll see a lot of content there, not just on Almighty Blues FC. But yes, coming back to you, Maisy. Yes, I think Harry Maguire is a point, but let's talk about captaincy. I know it's discussed time and again, literally every week, and you must be tired as a United fan, just kind of, and then probably pulling your hair possibly at times. But how can someone who is not in your top 5 players, as in again, maybe you have a different opinion, Maisy, but do you reckon Harry Maguire, just not having that capability as a player, rather not performance as a player more recently, is that the reason why he's not commanding that respect what he used to? And that's the main reason they should have probably changed the captain?
For me, I never really seen Harry Maguire as a captain, and I do believe that ever since that incident, what happened in Greece several years ago, that is when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the time should have said, right, Harry, all this going on in limelight, captain said, done. And that's how it should have been. And at the time, we had Bruno Fernandes there, who is a leader. We've got more leaders now ever since that incident. We've got Cristiano Ronaldo. Personally, I don't like goalkeepers. I don't like strikers having the captaincy. I really don't like. I just feel like when you look at it, they're only in one side of the pitch. They're only in a small bit. So I think a defender or a midfielder deserves to have that captaincy. They're all over the pitch. So that's why I always say Bruno Fernandes should be the captain. But in terms of Harry Maguire, it just feels like he hasn't ever shown leadership roles to me. You look at incidents where the ref has given a wrong decision. You don't see Harry Maguire going up, being vocal with your referee. That's what a captain should do. They should be the first player up to the referee going, no, this is wrong. I haven't hardly ever seen that. Look at that Martial red card, for instance, what happened several years ago against Tottenham. We did not see Harry Maguire even challenge the ref. He was just stood there in the box. Like, he was just felt like kind of thing. But then you look at other incidents, and I don't see no leadership. He doesn't command the back line. I've never seen him command the back line. I've seen the back line has actually been better since Varane. Varane is the one who is vocal in that back line to say, look, get in the line, guys. And that's when you do see a lot more defensive structure. So Ralph had the opportunity to change captaincy as well. And he didn't. He stuck with Harry Maguire. Maybe it could have been because he was an interim. And he just thought, just leave it. I'm only here for 6 months. But he had the opportunity and he left it. But at this moment in time, there's no point in changing the captaincy. Too much has gone at Manchester United at the moment.
Exactly.
Just wait for when we get a new manager, if that's going to be Poch, Ten Hag, Enrique, whoever that's going to be, let them change the captaincy then if they decide to change the captaincy. For now, I think it's absolutely daft to do that. But I do believe he should be dropped because he's not fit enough to wear the Manchester United armband and he's not good enough to be in that starting 11 lineup. And you look at players such as Lindelof and you feel sorry for them when you're having such a good season. This is probably one of the best seasons I've seen of Lindelof. Despite, of course, conceding loads of goals, he's actually done fairly well. There hasn't been too many games for me where Lindelof has been poor. So I don't understand why you wouldn't start him. Eric Bayer, I've not even seen him play one appearance under Ralph. We've
Yeah,
seen
yeah,
more appearances
absolutely.
from Phil Jones.
Was he not injured? Like I know that he
He was
was injured.
out during AFCON, but he's been back in training for a few weeks
Okay.
now.
That's strange because I think that's a great point because in the first leg as well, I think Ragnick probably chickened out. He didn't take that decision, and I know in his sense he went with the tactic of back three that he called, which was looking like a back four with Lindelof playing right back almost, which was kind of very strange. And he didn't want to drop Maguire, but I think you probably hit the nail on the head because if he doesn't drop Maguire for this big game, probably your biggest game of the season, right? As in, you have to get there because this is probably, if in case Manchester United gets to that quarterfinals, it'll be a huge boost for the rest of the season. I know you got a huge
Yeah.
boost last weekend, but that was like a one-off. It happens like every now and then. But Champions League, you know what it means, right? As in, for me, Harry Maguire, I agree, has to be dropped. I think Farasat Ali says biggest downgrade Vidic to Maguire. Learn from Madrid. We replace Ramos with Alaba. Well, you know what? That is
true.
football for you. That is that. These
And I
decisions
think though Ralph hasn't really helped himself, in the
Ankit
press
bhaiya,
conferences.
I just have a point to make.
Sure.
When we talk about biggest downgrades, right? Ronaldo 7 to Diaz 7. How does that feel?
Interesting.
But I was going to say, Ralph hasn't really helped himself in the press conferences, because people are asking about Harry Maguire and he's saying he's happy with Maguire and he wants him to stay as the captain. So there's been no rumours, there hasn't been nothing going on to say that the captaincy is going to get changed, that he's going to get dropped. So he's kind of shot himself in the foot to that degree because then people are expecting, we're going to play Harry Maguire. And if he does get dropped, there's going to be even more speculation, even more news reports. So for me, I think he made the wrong call there in terms of saying he's fine, he's not going to be dropped. And he should have said that each player has to earn their starting 11 lineup. So it's always going to be unpredictable for anyone who does come into this first team. And this is what it should be. There should be every single player in the starting 11 lineup should have a competition. Because they're going to feel comfortable in the role. And Maguire, even though there's competition, is comfortable in that role.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Niall had a question. I think Maisy's kind of already answered it. I think probably Bruno Fernandes should be the person, from what I understand from Maisy. And I'm assuming David De Gea or Ronaldo. I think vice captain is not the big deal. I think it's more about who is actually the one leader. And that's what Manchester United as a club need. And I think coming back to you, Anshumaan, Atletico have been in good form recently. Now, they have been playing, I think, decently. I would not say great. The performances aren't great, to be very honest, because I am covering a lot of La Liga as well on the channel. I have been closely following them. But in terms of results, they have it, Anshuman. They are basically the king of dark tactics, especially with Simeone. We know how they qualified as well to the knockouts. I think they had the opposition get a red card. I think it was against Porto, if I remember right, and they just got there. And it's 1-1, right? It's definitely there. I know away goals don't count, but they have nothing to lose for me. So, Anshuman, Atletico, like, what do you think their tactic will be? Despite having the star players they have, they'll probably go back to the dark tactics. What do you reckon?
That's what they have been playing for, not for the last decade. There's nothing next to, discuss, to be very honest. They have just one tactic. Sit back, hit on the counter. Even in La Liga, a team which is not even, 10% of the capability of Atletico in terms of the names, in terms of the talent. They play against Atletico and they have like 40, 50, 55, 60% of the possession. So they are playing the same way for the last 10 years since Simeone has took charge.
Exactly.
They are being called the rich Burnley, and obviously you can understand why. But
by the way, sorry, but I have to basically point out my friend Dan. I'm sure Maisy will relate it. It's not a pun, but it actually is. Please continue, Anshuman.
Yeah. So I think Atletico is just going to come with the same mindset. When you look at the players Atletico got, I am just thinking at this point of time is that they have so many injury problems. If we are playing our best game, even not best game, 80% of our game, we can easily beat the Atletico side. Because when you have a team who is intent on defending, it gives you much more chances to attack. Because in their midfield, when you have, Lamar is gone, Correa won't be playing, they don't have Jimenez, Versalco is out, Was is out. So when you look at at least I guess 8 team members are out. But then obviously they have Suarez, they have Griezmann. So as you said, dark tactics. They are going to play like that. Touch them, they will fall on the ground. That's how Spanish team plays. It's not just Simeone's team. It's any Spanish team. Whether
Yeah,
it's Real
exactly.
Madrid, whether it's Atletico, whether it's Barcelona, you touch them, they go through the ground.
Especially in Champions League games, and that's something
Yeah,
that we know. As you kind of faced them as in Villarreal as well. In the final, and
yeah.
we saw in the Super
That's
Cup.
how Spanish team plays. That's how their games are being refereed in Spain. So I have no doubt that we can get this done. But yeah, again, if we, as Messi said, if we are going a goal down at Old Trafford, we make ourselves very, very vulnerable to the second goal because the away goals are out of the context.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
See, so basically that makes them a bit of favorite. Because as you said, they have nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. Yeah, yeah.
Nothing to lose. If we have that away goal, we could have just gone into this game all right that we are 70% there, 30% we have to cover. It's back to 50-50. Home game pressure is on us. Obviously, 75,000 people. If you are not starting well, they are going to get on your nerves.
True, true.
So at
By
this
the way,
point of time, dark tactics will be there.
yeah.
Felix will be there, Griezmann will be there, Suarez will be there.
Carrasco is suspended, right? Carrasco is suspended, so I think he will be a big miss.
Yeah, that's why I said 8 players. 8 of them are either suspended or they are injured or missing for some reason. But yeah, we cannot take them lightly. As I said, their midfield still, gets over our midfield easily in terms of physicality. So unless or until, I think, it might be very, very awkward for people or, they might be a bit shocked. But I won't be surprised if Ronaldo and Cavani both get a start.
Wow, that's a big call. Yeah, we'll come to the starting 11s quickly, Anshumaan. But I would actually take Maisy's opinion here because talking about that forward line, the one man who's really impressed me. I know, let's not go into the Mason Greenwood, what happened. I know that he's probably coming back, is what I saw a tweet from Anshumaan the other day. But again, that's debatable. Now, the point is, one man who's taken that opportunity is Elanga. Elanga has really stepped up to the occasion. Even the first leg, he scored you the goal. And but I know at the weekend, was it, I think, Rashford you guys started with on the right hand side with Sancho, who's been brilliant. But Elanga, he deserves a start. I really feel that. But it's a huge occasion, don't you think so, for this particular night? Because this is going to be the biggest night of his career. So Maisy, difficult choice. What you would go with the two at the top that Anshumaan went with? Maybe he's suggesting a 4-2-2-2. What formation and what forward line would you play?
To be honest, with Ralph, he's been using the 4-2-3-1 recently, so I think he is going to be staying with that because we all knew that 4-2-2 didn't work for Manchester United. That 4-2-2 is a pressing kind of formation, so therefore that we need pressing players. When we've only got two players who press, the press ends up getting broken. We lose the ball quite quickly, and because it's more for wide players, we're relying on the fullbacks there as well quite a lot. We're leaving such a space in the middle. So you look at that Newcastle game, for instance, with St. Maximin, he was able just to go straight through because we was far too wide. We wasn't narrow like that 4-2-2 should really be. In my personal opinion, though, for me, I would like to see Edinson Cavani, but I think he will be used as a super sub. We've seen him as a super sub in the past, and I think maybe he might come on around the 70th minute. Elanga, I think, should start. We need to put our strongest starting 11 up. We aren't playing now until the first week of April, so this is the last game just due to the postponed game of Liverpool. So we need to go out with our strongest team. Sancho has been another one as we've seen, getting the goals, getting the assists. He has been brilliant on the wings. He's really shown that he's a Manchester United player. So him, Elanga on the wings, Ronaldo in the middle, and then Bruno as the 10. I think it will work very, very well, in my opinion. I wouldn't really start Rashford just because of the form right now, and we can't. And the way he does give the ball away so cheaply, and we can't rely on that at this moment in time. We need to be very, very careful in terms of our possession. I'd even start Nemanja Matic in the midfield as well, in that double pivot.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
that pass, wow, as in that pass was, he's back to the old days. It was that weekend match, gave me an old Matic and old Ronaldo. It was some kind of nostalgic, even for me as a Chelsea fan, I can say, because Nemanja Matic, he has that pass in him, and you're right, as in he probably has more calming influence in that midfield. Probably is that what you need in big games, and that's a great call. But Anshuman, I think, yeah, just talking about midfield. So I think what I understand is Maisy is going with Ronaldo. Behind him would be what Sancho and Alanga, and then you have Bruno Fernandes in the hole, and then you have Matic and Fred. Would you make any changes there?
Yeah, to be very honest, as I said, I won't be surprised, and I really want Cavani to start because these two guys, their movement, you know, I think that would be too much for handle for Atletico. Their defense, they don't have such great pace, and with Jimenez out, you know, that's basically their best defender out.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you hit them where they like to, go ahead with. They like to play physical. You play physical.
Hmm.
All right.
yeah,
So that's my point of view. I think Elanga can come as a super sub for the last 20 minutes. Because I don't see Cavani lasting, you know, 90 minutes. To be very honest, he just got around 10-15 minutes in the previous game. He's just coming back from injury. He will get around 70 minutes. And then I will put on Elanga in the midfield. Obviously, I won't change.
yeah. I think
Matic,
midfield
Fred,
will fix themselves. Yeah, that's a pretty easy fix,
Matic
right?
and Fred. Then after 65-70 minutes, you can bring in McTominay because we all know Matic cannot play
Yeah.
90.
Correct.
And if there is a yellow card or something like that, obviously you have to keep that in mind. And we have
Yeah,
5 substitutions, so why not? So for
exactly.
me, I think from the previous game, if I have to make the changes, Maguire goes out, straight away.
Now
And if
I'll come to the defense. Just hold on. I know I have a lot to discuss for the defense, Anshuman. Stick on there. Just hold on. Because yes, by the way, yeah, Maisy, there's a question for you. As in, come on, like, you cannot drop Ronaldo for such games. And probably Nile is meaning that you probably use Ronaldo in a different way. But I doubt it. But I know Maisy, you have to go. Any last words? Maybe this question, maybe about the predictions. What do you think will happen?
For me, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, going to be 1-0. I think it's going to go either way, though. I think if Atletico score first, we're done. But I think if we manage to if we hold it out for the first half, second half, we get a goal, I think it'll work very, very well in our favour. They'll get frustrated. They'll give away free kicks. So, personally, for me, hold it out, get that goal in that second half, and finish 1-0. Because we've touched on away goals don't matter. So, we just need to go all out and we need to be absolutely brilliant, keep hold of that possession of the ball. And there was the question here, and I do think Bruno does play we play better with Bruno, just for the reason that we lack creatively without him. We have seen it in the Wolves game, for instance, and as soon as he came on, he got us a free kick. So we need that kind of creative spark, and I just feel like Pogba is not suited as the number 10. He really annoyed me as that number 10. I was so annoyed in that second half. But honestly,
Yes,
Ankit,
yeah.
thank you so much for having me on. It's been absolutely brilliant, and I would love to do another stream with you again. Hopefully, Chelsea will be coming up very, very soon. So I'll love to get you on my channel for that.
Absolutely, we'll do for sure, and all the best for your stream. And we'll meet you soon. Wish you all the best for the game.
thanks a lot for
We'll meet
joining,
again.
Messi.
Thank you both. Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Okay, so we have to say Maisy bye, and we'll have her again on the show for sure. Let's see, and then hopefully Anshuman will be hoping that United progress, and we'll have these talks in the quarterfinals as well. And yes, Anshuman, I think we were talking about the picks. I think Maisy answered the Bruno question very well answered, but that particular defense. By the way, before getting to the defense, people again, more than 20 people watching. Come on, let's press that subscribe button if you haven't. Almighty Blues FC. We're definitely going on to 1,800. I think Anshuman has been, there. He needs some help as well. Come on, let's, go to the description, take a second, click on to the United Road, just a subscribe button. But yes, do like the stream because that certainly helps. And get in your comments, put in the poll, whatever you feel like. We'll discuss that. Put in your questions because Anshuman is here. We are going to discuss a lot more things. And again, if people know what's the lineup already, I know there are reports. Please, share it. It'll certainly help, and we'll discuss on that. But I think yes, of course, Nippon, big up to you. We have to plan, brother. We have to plan. It's my bad. We haven't been able to plan that. And yes, we are getting the predictions already. But that is where I'm talking about Anshuman, the defense. Now, इसलिए I was not allowing Anshuman to literally speak. because I know there is a huge question mark. Maguire, we spoke very briefly about it, but Anshuman, what do you think about that fullback situation? Because I think again we've spoken on your channel, Anshuman. Uh, we've discussed lots. Itne baar we thought that okay, we'll probably have Luke Shaw for the Premier League and Champions League. के लिए You can have Telles, but clearly the weekend mein you showed it. Corner se I think finally you scored a goal. So that kind of
Second
shows that
time.
yeah, as in Telles was the person who delivered, if I'm not wrong. So he kind of picks himself for sure, but right back is interesting because against Atletico, on the left hand side of Atletico, you can get beaten by a João Felix. So do you go with Van Bissaka or Dalo?
I'm going Delo, to be honest. You know, because
On the
when
front foot.
someone, yeah, when someone is, showing signs of form, when someone is showing that they are improving, so I don't think any sense of putting up Van Bissaka out there. He is defensively great. We all know that, but throughout the season, he has been all over the place. Offensively, he was never great, but even this year, defensively, he has been struggling. So I'm definitely going with Dalo. And I always said that when you have players like Ronaldo and Cavani up front, you need fullbacks who can deliver.
True,
You
true.
know, Teles is definitely going to start because we don't have Shaw. So
Yeah.
one thing I do feel that if Teles, obviously he is definitely going to be a bit struggling defensively. So yeah, they will, in terms of when we talk about our attacking players helping out Teles, they will have to do that a bit. But when it comes to making those runs and linking up with Sancho, I think Sancho on the left is linking up really really nicely with Teles, and Teles knows that he just has to put that ball into the box. Ronaldo will be there somehow,
Good point, good point.
and even if he is not, then obviously it makes it creates a panic in the defense. That because Ronaldo, even if he's not there, he will just come out for the second goal against Tottenham. That ball went to Sancho. Ronaldo was on his bike, you know, regularly
Yeah.
on. He was just
But
standing
he
over
had
there.
space ना मतलब अंशुमन रोनाल्डो के पास वो space भी थी where he could actually exploit that in that particular game. But I think this is probably a answer to what you were trying to say earlier. Where is Maguire going to end come the summer? What is your prediction? Because he's not one who'll stay on the bench, will he?
But then who is going to pay for him? That's the biggest question. It's
You
not
take a
about
loss.
who is
You
going.
take a loss.
Obviously, I am not thinking about it. I am not even getting 40 for that guy. You know, who wants a 40
True.
million guy? Obviously, yeah, Newcastle might take. I always say I don't think Maguire is a bad player. It's not his fault that he was, Leicester took 80 million from us. Whoever did that, build that guy a statue outside Leicester Stadium. He got us to pay 80 million. I'm just saying that captaincy decision that was wrong. And then when you are the captain, sometimes you have to take the responsibility. And that's where Maguire has lacked. We have seen in the past when the players, struggle to perform, they either had a talk with the manager that, all right, I will just go on to the bench or, play someone else. We have seen that with Fergie.
Yeah.
In the biggest games, Giggs, Coles, players like those used to get on the bench. Utility players used to play. Park Ji-sung literally man-marked AC Milan out of the Champions League.
Yeah, by the way, as in big shout out to Michael Talk Football. As in, come on, as in Champions League nights, we know what it means, Michael. Been there, done that. Yes, we've spoken. I think we did a preview show, I think, before the first legs. And I think Michael did call out for João Felix. So a big up to him for that. And Rodrigo de Paul, I don't think he's lived up to the expectation, or maybe he's not been played right, just like João Felix was in his first year. But yes, I get what you mean because yeah, in these nights it's something that they would expect as Atletico fans at least that they would turn up. And I think Marathi color, we have been speaking about Cristiano a lot. Against Atletico is something that we all can predict. Again, I have gone for a brace that Cristiano will get, not a hat trick this time. That's my prediction, and we'll get to exact predictions as well. Amar Reddy says Everton and Newcastle को चिपका दो. 35 to 40. यार एवर्टन फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो यार रहेगी
रेलीगेट
ही
होने
नहीं.
के बाद एवर्टन के पास 40 मिलियन थोड़ी होंगे भाई.
एग्जैक्टली वही मुझे अभी
वो
लग
तो
रहा है.
40 मिलियन के प्लेयर्स को वो खुद 20 मिलियन में बेचेंगे बाहर.
Absolutely. Well, very well said there. But I think I am just side by side trying to make the 11. And again, people who know the exact 11, do let me know. Because there are a lot of tweets going around, I know. So that is something that we can always talk about. But I think let's actually quickly speak about the other game because there is another big game as well. Anshuman, we'll come to the predictions and the last bit of the United game as well towards the end. Ajax versus Benfica. Now, first leg, everyone said Ajax has been the team of the year in terms of the Champions League surprises. Haller being in the form he is, probably the only one who's outscored Ronaldo. He probably scored in every particular game as well. Even in the first leg, Ajax, it was 2-2, right? But Haller missed chances. So, if not for Tadic, possibly Ajax would have been the better side. I have a feeling that they could have probably scored more or probably defended more, right? So, considering this is back in Ajax, you feel that Benfica have an aging defense and they will probably not be able to keep it. What's your gut feel, as in? Because I think Anthony is one who's probably playing for a move. Let's be honest. He's been linked with every club. Gravenberg, we've been calling on the channel a lot of times. He's been linked with every club. Yes, they have Ten Hag, who's also been linked. So do you think that those links are kind of going to affect them? Because last 2 weeks, especially, a lot of stories have come out, right, with Ten Hag. So where do you think Ajax is going this season?
I do think that they can get the better of Sporting, to be honest. Especially in the Amsterdam arena. I think they have the youth. They have a bit of experience up there as well. And going for, Sporting without with this game without any away goals. If this was an away goal game, Ajax I think would have you know like 10%, 20% ahead by now. But when we talk about Sporting, they have a very young manager.
You mean Benfica, right? Sorry.
Oh, sorry, yeah, Benfica. My bad, sorry. So they have a really good team. You talked about the aging defense. Aging defense when you have I think they have Vermaelen, they have Otamendi. So these guys. So obviously experience is there. Experience is there. But then, as you said, pace. Anthony is playing for a move. They have Tadic, they have Haller, so they can definitely cause the problems. I just think just because it's a home game, I think Ajax nicking it.
Yeah, it's
If
just the
Ajax
form,
was a
right?
goal down,
Because form is
yeah,
telling me otherwise. Like Michael says, right? Ajax have been poor defensively recently. Exactly. Daily Blind is another person that Manchester United fans will always remember. I know he did well. He was probably wrongly kind of sold, in my opinion. But he can do a job. But right now he has that. That's the stage of the career that he is in. That he has a mistake in him. So I am seeing Ajax, certainly having that kind of, as a leaky defense possibly. But Benfica, on the other hand, again, correct me if I'm wrong, Michael, but I think Pasveer, the goalkeeper, is out. He's probably been one of the best goalkeepers in the group stages I remember. So probably Stecklenburg is also out for Ajax. So I think it's going to be Onana, if I'm not wrong. Onana, I'm not sure how much has he played recently. Michael, if you can just confirm me that how much has Onana played recently? Because for me, with that, leaky defense recently, plus Daily Blind being there, the fact that I think they don't have a regular goalkeeper in the Champions League now, that is a great opportunity for Benfica because, like you said, as in they have that youth mentality to the management, so they might just go for the kill away because of no away goals. So anyway, what is your kind of prediction on this one, Anshuman, in terms of scoreline?
in terms of scoreline, I just see this going to 2-1 to Ajax. And
Yeah,
as
two
I
one
said,
to Ajax.
it's just their home game, buoyed by the 50,000 fans. I think with the technicality and creativity they have, and they obviously defensively, if you see, both teams are struggling. You know,
Yeah,
one
absolutely.
even Ajax has leaked goals in the last few games. Benfica, because of their aging defense, they are always vulnerable. Ajax always thrives. Ajax always thrive on their attacking game. You know, Under Ten Hag, they have done brilliantly by not conceding. But when you look at Ajax of old, they are like, all right, even if we are conceding 2 goals, just try to go out there and try to get those 3 goals, which will win you the games. So
Let
For
me
me,
ask a question here. Let me ask a question, a difficult question or easy one. I don't know. You decide. Now that Ajax side is disintegrating, and that's the model of Ajax. That
yeah,
they produce players, and they like Dortmund, Ajax. We know that recent decade has been such for such historical
yeah.
clubs, especially Ajax. Now, if United were given like, hey, take one player from Ajax, who's it going to be for you?
From Ajax, definitely we are talking about Anthony.
Anthony, okay. Because I thought Gravenberg, doesn't he kind of fit the bill, or he's not really a DM, but again, he can do a job for you.
We
Because
have Gardner
Anthony,
for that. Gardner is coming back. We don't need, if we have to get someone from Ajax of the same age like,
okay,
James Gardner. So it's not like he has done, like world class things at the games which he has played. So I will
Mhm.
rather see Gardner getting back. Whoever is the next manager, I think Gardner gets the chance. If he performs, he performs, and if he's not performing, we can easily try to get him out to any other club and get around 15-20 million for him. Because now this is the age. It's been almost 1.5 years that he's been out on loan. So I think that's the time now that he gets back, you know. And obviously our CDM position is absolutely dreadful. So maybe he can.
Completed. Yeah, I just and maybe I feel more for Gravenberg. I think probably a lot of people in the chat would agree to that. I've been kind of talking about Gravenberg since a year now, but I think his big move will come,
No,
and I'm not sure if
as I said, that if we have to pay around 40-50 million, for a player like that, because we all know he's talented, there's no doubt about that. And Ajax takes good care of the talented players, it will easily go around 40-45 million. But then at the same time, I am seeing Gardner as well, week in, week out. And that too in a physical championship for a 21-year-old. So,
yeah.
he might not be as technical as Granberg, but then at the same time, he's actually playing against the bullies, and he's doing well. Corner kicks, free kicks, possession based game. He's doing it all.
Well,
So
well, well said.
instead of putting that 40-45 million on someone from Ajax, I will save that money. I will just go for someone like, it's an open race for Haaland. We all know that. We need a striker. Haaland is there. Kane, obviously, I don't think so. But coming back to the, even Rice is out in the market. So a lot of ifs and buts. But yeah, I will save that 40-45 million if I can.
Interesting, interesting. By the way, meanwhile, side by side, I was just preparing the sheet. I don't know if the official lineup is out yet. Any Manchester United fans now
Not
do
yet. It
comment.
will be out in
Okay.
around 45 minutes.
Okay, so I think let me see again. I'm just talking about the people having the sources, so as to speak, and this is what we kind of think. Again, I know I did not go with Cavani there, but I think I went with the majority Anshuman with the people in the chat as well as myself. So I'm going with this for Manchester United tonight, and it's going to be really interesting as to how they start the game, and it's going to be coming down to, okay, is it going to be a case where they take it on the front foot, or they play on the counter, because Atletico Madrid, they are to be careful about, right? You can't take them easily as well. But in terms of how the game flows, what's your prediction? Will it be on the front foot kind of game, considering you had a great win over the weekend, or you would go pragmatic?
United always starts the game slow. Home, away. That's the trend we have been
Second
following
half
all
FC.
season. We show up basically when we concede. Obviously I don't want that today. I want them to be playing on the front foot from the get go, like we started against Spurs. We had the ball. Looking at the lineup, to be honest, whoever has put that Lindelof in the lineup, even on Twitter, he is basically just trying to console himself that finally we will see Lindelof and we will see Harry Maguire on the bench. That's not going to happen. If that happens, I think that's going to be a very to be very shocking to me if we get rid of Maguire in this game and we start off with Lindelof. So I think Maguire starts. Apart from that, I do see Elanga starting. As I said, I would have loved to see Cavani, but then I do see Elanga starting because Rashford in the last game, he had his chance, he didn't do anything. Cavani, his movement in the last 10 minutes, absolutely brilliant.
European game kind of you can say that I'll be used, but I don't know. Like I'll get in Michael here quickly. By the way, Michael, welcome back to Almighty Blues FC. Been a while, I know. We discussed what the first legs I remember, but how have you been?
Good. Literally just came back from the airport about 2 hours ago, so feeling good though.
Okay, as in I hope things are good there in Finland, but I'm hoping that I don't know about this Griezmann. Like, where has Griezmann gone? Like, I think he's probably been missing, right? we need to.
He's
look for
been
Griezmann.
missing, that's for sure. But they don't really have any other options. Atletico. I mean, are you going to play an old Suarez? You have to go with João Felix and Griezmann. Griezmann was actually good against who was it? Real Betis. That was a really good game from Atletico, where they destroyed them 3-1. So very happy about that for Griezmann. But João Felix is. If he doesn't score, I don't see how Athletic can win this game. He's been on absolute fire recently, but we know what they're going to do. They're going to play 5 in the back and just try and make it life difficult for United at Old Trafford. I still think this is going to be very high scoring because if you guys watched Athletic over the weekend against Cadiz, they were terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Just about scraped through, right? I mean, that's
it was a terrible performance by them. I don't know what to say, but
I don't know why I tortured myself, Michael, watching that game. Trust me, I felt torture.
Don't watch an Atletico match this season. If it's not United or Liverpool involved, just don't watch it. Or Real Madrid or Barcelona. They're just horrible to watch. But that's Diego Simeone. That's what he's going to do. He's just going to get the goal and then park the bus. So I know Atletico. Do you know what? Actually, it's a crazy stat. I found this the other day. Atletico de Madrid have scored their most goals out of any team in Europe in this year, 2022.
No way. Come on.
Yes.
It's not
I'm serious.
Yet, is it?
I'm serious. This is true. They have scored the most goals of any team.
Bonkers listening to that. Wow,
Yep.
wow, that's something. It's like saying Newcastle are second in I think Premier League, right? This particular
Yeah, the form, yeah.
Exactly. It's almost like that. But yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like, that's football for you. And Atletico have that knack in them just to kind of get there, and that's what I think United have to be very careful about. So, Michael, quickly, your predictions.
That's the point I wanted to make, Ankit, where that when you have a team with so much attacking threat, it's fine. You try to be a defensive manager. It's fine that you focus on your defense. But when you have almost 250 million of attacking players, you've got to give them that freedom. That all right, go out and play. It's fine. It's fine you play a certain back three in certain games. Obviously, sometimes you don't like to go toe-to-toe with someone like Real Madrid, or if you are in the Champions League against Liverpool or against Manchester City, because they will just tear you apart. But when you are playing even the low level opposition, you are basically going with the same formation, and still you are struggling to score goals. Where you can, you could easily fit another player, other attacking player, and you could just try to win the game in the first 35-40 minutes. Because when you see La Liga, it's like between 3 or 4 teams. Sevilla has come up this season, but apart from that, it's always been Barcelona, Atleti, and Real. It's not like you are getting so much competition from teams like, Betis has done so far, well so far, but Sociedad, they play well against lower table teams. But when they get against, Real or Barca or Atleti, it's like 9 out of 10 times they're losing. So that's my point, is that you have such an attacking team. I think they can play expensive brand of football, and I still think they can get the results.
I think Mendes has gone on record, right? If I'm not wrong, Michael, that probably João Felix, I think it's well documented about him probably moving out of Atletico Madrid in the summer, and that's something that I'm sure Portuguese fans would possibly agree. They'll be the first ones to actually sanction that move. Talk about sanction FC, but everything is correct.
Let's not get into that.
Yeah, exactly. But Michael, I was coming to that. Like, what's your prediction for this one, Atletico at United?
I have no clue. Flip a coin and see what happens. I just want to remind the United fans, remember what happened the last time Atleti played in England in a round of 16 match in the second leg. Adrian broke my heart. I don't think De Gea is going to have an Adrian moment, but I mean, Atleti just do this, man. They don't play great. They don't play attractive football. They just get the job done. That's all they care about. It's just advancing, and they're not going to win this Champions League. If Atleti somehow win this Champions League, my God, that would be something else. But I think the GOAT is going to rise. I think it's going to be 3-2 United. It's going to be the same result as the weekend. I think it's going to be high scoring. Both teams can't defend, so I'm going 3-2 United.
I'll take that. I'll take that. That'll be fun to watch for sure. But I know, like, the Champions League. By the way, people who missed out the earlier stream, do check it out. We had talk about goats. We had a goat in the house, AKG, the goat of Indian YouTube. He was there. So we discussed a lot. Yeah, he was there despite being injured, and talk about commitment. Right. We had a lot of conversation about Chelsea and the ongoing ownership saga, and of course the Chelsea game that is tomorrow that happening. But yes, of course, people who missed out this stream as well, do watch back because we've discussed a lot about United, about Ajax as well. But we have to speak about a little bit about EPL, and that's why I have Michael back, a Liverpool fan in the house, and a huge game, Michael. You are in the box seat. I don't know, like proper. I don't know, luck. I probably luck favors the brave. Klopp, his celebrations. Yeah, there was a story going around that. Come on, he's just kind of over exaggerating. No way, no way. This guy knows what he's doing, and I think the Liverpool side are going for it, in my opinion, proper. So Michael, just sticking on to you, Arsenal versus Liverpool. Arsenal are on a great run. Where do you see this game kind of being decided on? Because I think Salah, I'm not sure if he's 100% fit. Is he?
He didn't train yesterday, so that's going to be an interesting issue if he does.
He is fit. He is fit.
Is he fit?
Confirmed, yeah.
Okay.
I
Well,
was
if he's
reading an article regarding that, his injury. Klopp said he is fit.
okay, because he didn't train yesterday, so I was wondering what was going to happen. But I mean, this is everything, right? We have 10 cup finals to go. I mean, we're in the drive. If we win every game, we're the champions of England. That's all. It's just that simple. We're on a great form. What is it now? 8 or 9 games in a row we've won. I mean, yeah, you can say City have dropped a couple of points, but I mean, literally, you know what's funny as well? City have dropped the points to the same exact teams this season: Crystal Palace, Southampton, and Liverpool. Those are the only 3 teams I think they've dropped points to. Isn't that, if I'm correct? I think those are the only 3 teams.
But this game, and one more thing. Sorry, Michael, I'll just cut you there. As a Chelsea fan, it actually pains me to actually, hear that, because I think we know those draws that we got. Trust me, we are right there with Liverpool and City. But just
you would have been
draws that we got. So I think City and Chelsea have kind of bottled it both. I would include Chelsea here as well. Like that's why I'm like saying that Liverpool are like they have just been there, right? Please continue.
Yeah, but oh man, this game on Wednesday is massive. I mean, absolutely massive. I think for Arsenal, this is kind of like almost a free hit. If they lose this game, it's all right. It's not the end of the world for them. I think they know this is going to be their toughest match for the rest of the season. They don't have to play Man City anymore. They still got to play Chelsea, Spurs, and all these teams. But I think this is pretty much almost a free hit for them. And for Liverpool, they just have to win. It's just that simple. Am I satisfied with the performances in the last couple of games? No, I'm not really, because I think the front 3 have been quite selfish, in my opinion. I think Salah's just really wanting a goal. Sadio Mane really wants a goal. Luis Diaz really wants a goal. He'll do anything for a goal, Luis Diaz. I mean, the midfield for Arsenal has been playing much better. Ever since Partey got that stupid red card on his return from the AFCON against Liverpool, he's actually been, I think, probably the best midfielder in the Premier League. I got to be honest. I think he's been on brilliant form, and Ødegaard is just a master. I absolutely love Martin Ødegaard. I think he's a brilliant player. But from what I can remember in the last game against Arsenal and Liverpool, was it the Carabao Cup second leg? I think both teams didn't play amazing that game, and Liverpool were just clinical. I think just on the counterattack. I think what's going to be interesting for Klopp is he going to start Jota? Because clearly Jota seems to be a menace in Arsenal's team, because he always scores against them. So it's going to be very interesting to see what Klopp's selections are going to be for this game. I think that's going to be the major difference. Is he going to go with the same front 3 as Brighton, or is he going to put Jota instead for Mane? I think that's an interesting aspect to look from in this game. Arsenal on brilliant form, I can't deny. I think they're playing some of the best football I've seen Arsenal play in a very, very long time. They look very confident side. I feel like if they just absorb the pressure, I mean, they do give up chances. Arsenal do give up chances, and you cannot give this Liverpool side many chances. They will punish you. So I think Wednesday is going to be a brilliant game. I really do think so. I think Liverpool defensively
are right there, right? Anshumaan, I'll probably take your opinion as well as a neutral, Anshumaan, about Arsenal. Like, I know, they have been in the form, maybe because you can argue that they didn't have any European football, any kind of distractions. Maybe Aubameyang going was good for them. Arteta finally got the team together. But on the pitch, what is it that you're seeing different, Anshumaan, from Arsenal team?
To be very honest, when you play in a Premier League game, when you are playing 38 games in a Premier League season, obviously no additional football helps. All right, that's the first thing. And then the second thing is they have got the academy talents going together at the same time. Saka is starting. Martinelli has contributed. Then they have Emil Smith-Rowe. He has also contributed. Then Lacazette in fine form recently. So I just think that now that they have no distraction, they are just because no one gave them a chance. It's like a free hit for them. Even if they finish off fifth, after the start they had, everyone would have celebrated. Because they would have thought that all right, they have made the progress, few signings in the next season, they might be getting in the top four. But Arteta has done a great job. I, I will say that for sure, because he has taken a young team, probably one of the youngest, might be the youngest, and I still think they might even bottle it, because that's Arsenal. Three games in hand.
Pretty sure Manchester United are hoping that and I'm expecting
No,
that.
it's not about hope. We have seen that, and we have seen that for a number of years. With Arsenal, you can never predict anything. They have 3 games in hand, and those 3 games, Liverpool, I expect Liverpool to basically thrash them, to be very honest. Because once they concede, they are an open thing. Once the first goal goes against Arsenal and against a big team, everyone gets reckless.
They capitulate, basically. That's what they're known for, right? Absolutely. Well said.
Yeah, they have Xhaka. I always have faith in Xhaka that he will do something stupid and get Arsenal, out of the game.
It's been a while as well, so it's probably due that. That's true.
Yeah, because he always does that. He has, it's like whenever he's in the starting lineup, I'm always sure that he will do some madness. So against Liverpool, I expect them to, drop points. Against Spurs, which Spurs is going to show up? Whether it's going to be the City Spurs or whether it's going to be the, Burnley Spurs. You never know. Conte just do us the biggest favor by not being the United manager and, getting points of Arsenal. So that's what I'm saying. The 3 games, if they get 3 points in these 3 games, against Chelsea, I don't expect them to win. Against Liverpool, I don't expect them to win. But if they are beating Spurs, if it's a draw, I'm absolutely ecstatic. If they are beating Spurs, I think that's like 75% of the job done for them. It's like basically they are then rolling across to the top 4, because obviously we are going to drop points, in the upcoming games. We have Liverpool and we have Arsenal. It's like in 4 days span, in April. So that's what but at this point of time, as Michael said, that they have 10 games, all the games are the finals. Same with City, and that's what happened when they lost the league by 1 point. They went on a 13-14 game run. City went on a 13-14 game run, and then nicked the league by 1 point. It might just come down to the game at Etihad, between Liverpool and City. I feel so, because these two teams, regardless of them dropping points against Spurs or, Guardiola will be fuming at this point of time. We all know that. And when he fumes, it's either he goes for a brilliant on a run or he just totally loses it. We have seen in European competitions, he has lost it. In the Premier League, he has got it spot on. I won't be surprised if they go on a 10-game run. But as I said, it's the Liverpool versus City game at Etihad that defines the,
Wow, what a great month that we're having in front of us.
Exactly.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Liverpool wins that game, Liverpool win that, league. Simple as that. For me, it's simple as that. If at Etihad, City is not losing the game, they're lifting the trophy for me.
Yeah, great point there. But I think a couple of points that in the comments that I saw. By the way, there are over 20 people watching. I hope everyone has liked the stream. Let's get the likes up, people. As in, I had a like target. I'm not sure if you're anywhere close to that. Let's get us there. Just the press of a button. Again, not just subscribe to Almighty Blues FC. Do check out that you are seeing on the screen. That is, Michael Talks Football, Devils United, the United Road. Great content for people out there, newer watchers who are not there on those channels. Definitely, I would highly recommend. And of course, we are coming back with the trivia shows. Michael, you were there on the Who Am I Trivia. I know you are waiting for the next leg. I didn't do any kind of episode, so hopefully we'll have Anshumaan there. I'm having a Manchester United versus Liverpool next, so that'll be really interesting how that goes, right? And probably I'll have Anshumaan in one of those editions for sure. But coming back to the topic here, I think we quickly touched upon Spurs as well. Conte. So, Michael, again, Conte has been similar to United, you can say, where really up and down, probably more so. They are about eighth in the table right now. But as in again, it's anyone's guess that okay, Harry Kane is not probably going to be there in the long term. That's a known thing. But now, as in, where do Spurs go from here? Because I don't think that fourth is something that is still on, is it?
I mean, stranger things have happened in the Premier League. I gotta be honest, and they're playing Brighton, right? I think they're playing
Yeah, they're
Brighton.
playing Brighton,
Yeah,
exactly.
Brighton they're in terrible form. I think they've lost like 6 straight, which is their worst form in like since they were in League One or something like that. So, I expect Spurs to win, but it's Spurs. They might do another Spursy. They might lose the game for all I know. But everybody was saying. Remember, I told you. I think Ankit, I told you. Everybody was bigging up Bentancur. This guy's going to be a great signing. He showed he was terrible.
I was with you. We were together.
We were both
exactly.
each other. I said this guy is not a good signing, and he showed he is not a good player on the weekend. Yes, it's only one game, but I'm warning Spurs fans: this guy is not good enough for a Premier League
one
team.
point to add to Michael. If you are getting nutmeg by Fred, you don't deserve to start for any team. Simple.
Exactly. Even though I actually do rate Fred quite highly. I don't know why United fans hate him so much. I think if you put
we don't hate him. We don't hate him. We just think that he is a bit of limited player. And with United, when you don't have a CDM, when you ask 2 players to do a job of 1 player, that's never going to work.
Yeah.
Fred and McTominay are basically 50-50 trying to do 1 player's job. If Fred plays alongside, when he plays for Brazil, he plays with Casemiro.
Which is excellent.
Look at the gameplay he is picking up for Brazil.
Yep.
He's making those runs, he's delivering those crosses, he's doing everything.
Yep.
And that's what he gets when he plays with Matic. When he plays with someone like McTominay is always pushing for that run, and so does Fred. And that's like, who's going to defend then in the midfield? When we lose the ball, and then it's either going to be a yellow card for Fred or for McTominay, because they are then both rushing back to get the ball. So
Yep.
I don't hate Fred. I think his capability, is very limited. But then we need a CDM to, make this team function.
Exactly.
Simple as that.
Exactly. But Spurs, I don't know. I just think their season is just kind of like, where do we go from here? And what is Conte's future? Is he going to stay at the club after this season as well if he doesn't get the funds? If Levy doesn't tell him, hey, you get to spend this much money, let's say 80 million, what's the point? What's the point of Conte staying there? He's a man who wants the money to spend on a squad so he can build it. When you have players like Doherty, terrible, Bentancur, not good enough, Harry Winks still there. You got Eric Dyer, Ben Davies. What is he supposed to do with these defenders? Please, somebody tell me, if you're a Spurs fan, neutral, what are you supposed to do with these below par defenders and make a top 4? It will be honestly, it will be a great achievement if Conte get his top 4 with this defense. I honestly, because these guys are terrible. I know Eric Dyer has been doing better, but come on, man, he is not a good central defender. Neither is Ben Davies. So I kind of feel for Conte, and I think he's in a situation like, where do I go from here? Where do I go from here? Do I leave? Do I try and push with this squad? I think the best thing for Conte is, I think just leave. Just go somewhere else. Spurs are just going to be Spurs. They're not going to win any trophies. They're not going to go for top 4. I wish Spurs could contend, but clearly I think the problem is it's not the players or the manager. It's from up top, basically. Kind of like United, right? It all stems from the board, and it all just trickles down to the failings of the club, unfortunately. So I don't think they're going to make top 4. I don't think they're going to finish 5th. I think they'll be 6th or 7th, battling it out with West Ham, and who knows? They'll be back in the Conference League.
Oh my God! Come on.
Losing to Mura again.
that lightning will strike twice. Finally,
Exactly.
Right? But yeah, you know what? I think it's interesting to say that, because Brighton, and they haven't been great either. But I think they should still get the win over Brighton. I think I'll be really surprised if they don't get that, especially considering what happened over the weekend. They really need to go for it. But yeah, I certainly get what he's saying. But I think, yeah, of course, there's Europa League as well. People out there watching, again, a lot of you watching, do smash the like button. That's the thumbs up that we're talking about. Do press that bell notification icon, helps. But check out Michael Talks Football, check out the United Road. A lot of discussion that we did, not only in this stream, we did a stream earlier as well, talked about Barca, we spoke about Chelsea. I know, talking about Chelsea, there was a comment about Chelsea Lille game, or rather Lille Chelsea game not being on. It has been cleared that it is on, despite the EU sanction that Roman Abramovich has. We have been cleared, so it is happening from what I see in the tweets. Correct me if I'm wrong, people in the chat. I don't know, like, it's going to be one of those nights where you expect a Manchester United team to just turn up. That's my gut feel that Manchester United will turn up for these nights. I think probably those clutch players are something that, as a Chelsea fan, I feel that I relate to that, and I can see Ronaldo and co kind of doing the job. By the way, Man City fans in the house as well. Well, wish you luck. Michael is in the house. It's basically on. The battle is on. Definitely, bring it on is what Liverpool is saying, because now they are in the box seat. But yeah, Man City at home, it'll be difficult that game as well. But yeah, talking about Barca as well, because yeah, we're going to cover Barca content tomorrow. That's going to be a proper Europa League stream. Plus, we'll be covering the Indian Super League. For those out there who are watching, ISL is very interesting this season. I am following it very closely for the first time. I have to say honestly, I have been following up and down, but yeah, this time I've been following closely. So hopefully we'll have a great discussion. We are having Football Lookout in the house, who's basically a very good Indian football content creator, along with the Barca fans. So that's ideal. So we'll have a great kind of conversation. And here we have a legend. Talk about legends. Dominic Rich in the house at work, just stopping by. Big up people. Do check out Dominic Rich.
Dom,
Talk about goats.
wait,
Yeah,
Dom,
he is a
Dom,
goat.
be respectful to Trent. I saw you last night. Be respectful to Trent. Don't disrespect the man. Love you, Dom.
You know what? I'm probably with Dom. We've had those discussions with the Trent and Reese versus, of course, Kyle Walker. So I
Yeah,
think
exactly.
I'm probably with him. But again, that's opinions, right? But I
Exactly.
get your point exactly, Michael. But again, big up to Dom to tune in. And yes, Mark, again, thank you. Yes, you were there on the other stream as well. Hopefully, you like this stream when you rewatch. But yes, a lot of conversation. I know, Anshumaan, you have to go as well, and we have a game on our hands. I don't know if the lineup is still out or anyone has any news about it.
25
I'm
minutes.
hoping.
20
Okay.
minutes.
Because there's always some kind of tweets running around that, okay, this is the lineup. I was kind of hoping for the lineups to be out. Let's see. Let's see. I have actually gone for a 2-0 kind of win for United. Let's see how's it. And Dom says is good, but can't make the England 11. Well,
Southgate tax. Southgate tax. Don't give me that, Dom. Come on, man.
You know what? Okay, fine. Let's see. Let's see. You know what? Probably Trent versus maybe Kyle Walker at least in that game. We will get to see who will
Yep.
kind of perform better. We'll get to see, and probably Reece James is waiting the wings. That's all I can say. And Van Bissaka, we've not even spoken. Come on, Anshuman will be like, oh, come on, you can't leave me out. Van Bissaka is not there. Let's be honest.
He is not even in the conversation. Come on.
Exactly.
Good one. Respect.
Klein over Wan
Yeah,
Bissaka.
exactly. It's like, it's like comparing a Ferrari with a Maruti at this point of time. Simple. I don't want to disrespect him, but where is he going to fit in? You have Reece James, you have Kyle Walker, you have Trent not making the team, and then you have Van Bissaka. He's like fourth. He might even be fifth
Trippier.
by the next time we are talking. So
Yeah.
Reece James, I think, is a complete right back. Complete.
Yeah, this consistency is
He
what
can
we
attack, he can
need.
defend. Obviously, Walker, he will keep on playing there because he's versatile. Alexander Arnold, we cannot, get along with how good he is offensively and how poor he is defensively. So I think his defensive game takes him out. But yeah, obviously, when you look at Bissaka, defensive game is all right. Offensively, he is poor. So unless or until he changes something dramatically, he's not getting into the conversation. He might just come out next season, all the guns blazing. You never know. As Michael said, football is very unpredictable. You never know. You cannot count anyone out. But at this point of time, it's like, asking Maguire to be the captain of England at this point of time. So
Yeah.
that's how it is at this point of time. You
Okay,
cannot.
so
you cannot
firstly,
consider
I'll
Van
just
Bissaka.
quickly address this. Soumya, first of all, thank you for joining. I think you joined in late because we did a proper stream a couple of hours ago. Do check out the stream. We had AKG in the house. We discussed a lot about Chelsea, the ownership situation. Of course, if people who didn't kind of figure out by now, I'm not sure if you people have figured it out. I have actually changed my name. I go by the name of Ankit now because we are getting Al Khariji. That's what we're hoping for as Chelsea fans.
Oh, Ankit. Come on, man. Hey, Ankit, actually, I have a question for you. What do you think about Chelsea asking the game at Middlesbrough to be behind closed doors?
Yeah, we did actually discuss
reply
that.
of Middlesbrough? You read what they replied?
What did they
I
respond?
read. I am
What did they
actually
say?
I would have done the same. If I was Middlesbrough chief, I would have done exactly the same. But you know what, Michael, I like to counter both sides. Now,
All right.
Just
I
take
will
it.
first, I will just read the statement first, what Middlesbrough said,
Yeah, please,
because
please.
that's funny.
Yeah.
You know,
I'll read the
they
other part
said,
later.
given the reason for the sanctions for Chelsea to seek to involve sporting integrity as reason for the game being played behind closed doors is ironic in the extreme.
You know what? But you know what? Chelsea has already thanked Middlesbrough for being able to allow ticket sales for an extended period of time. See, their argument, Michael, was that whatever the profits are from the sales, they had to prove that it will not go to Roman Abramovich. That is what the bottom line is. If that is the case, if it's going to Middlesbrough or if it's going to charity, so be it. We have also worked hard to reach the quarterfinals, bruh. There are a lot of fans expecting that because in Premier League we are already, as in we are deprived. Let's be honest. I know Jamie Carragher. Let's not get there. We actually discussed all these things in the other stream, so
Yeah.
definitely do check it out in detail. But that was something that I really believe that both sides are right. I would not say it's wrong, but there is a point of view where I can say that you probably have insulted Middlesbrough, but now that I'm saying this about ticket sales, I hope you agree, right? That's something
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Carragher's just pissed off because he got spun by Gianfranco Zola a couple of decades ago. That's why he's pissed off at Chelsea.
Exactly. You remember that, right? And that's the bottom line. But yeah,
Wow, that was a
exactly.
great
I
turn.
think Anshumaan, you need to go anyway. We're winding the stream in a few minutes. But Anshumaan, thanks a lot for joining. Before we end, any final thoughts about the game, about your channel?
I just, to be very honest, as I always say, we need to start on the front foot. When you have 75,000 people cheering you up, you cannot just go out and start in a sluggish way. It basically, you change the entire momentum. You give the opposition, teams that believe that, all right, even 75,000 fans behind them, and they are a very, very slow side. And we can do things. And if we start slowly, even without the away goal, obviously this will give Atletico the belief. And when it comes to my channel, guys, the link is in the description, as Ankit Bhaiya said. So do subscribe, and I will be doing the watch along in like 25 minutes time. Teams will be out there. So
It'll be fun.
yeah,
For sure. But of course, always good to have an opposition point of view. Great, absolutely. Anshumaan knows his stuff as well. So Anshumaan, see you soon. Wish you all the best for the game, and
Thank
wish
you,
you
thank
all
you,
the best for top 4. I know that's on as well. So we'll see you soon.
yeah. just hope that Liverpool does us a favor.
Oh wow!
Oh.
Talk about everything.
Because it's not like just about us. When they win, they also stay in the title. And if they lose or if they drop points against Liverpool, for me, I think it's title done for them. Even if they win against City at Etihad. So by beating Liverpool, by beating Arsenal, they keep us in the top 4 and they keep themselves in the title race. It was the same with us when we played against City. Obviously, I wanted us to beat City and then City go on a 10-11 games run and get the title, but obviously we got beaten. So now we are just hoping that Liverpool and Chelsea do us a favor, and hopefully we play the Champions League and Arsenal Conference or Europe. I don't care.
Interesting. But great having you on, brother. Certainly we'll meet soon for sure. Jaldi milte. Okay, so Anshumaan is done for the day, but yeah, we'll kind of wind up the stream. We'll take a couple of questions, Michael, here. So
Okay.
firstly, I think there was a question about the Chelsea lineup. Again, we did cover in detail why we picked that lineup. I have actually not changed anything from the first leg. I know Michael was there on the stream and we discussed about Lille as well. But I think Chelsea they did well. I think the way that they played against Lille, especially in the second half, was quite convincing. Even at the weekend, I know we got that last winner and there was a penalty Newcastle should have got, but
Yeah.
on the whole, our entire gameplay has improved. Be it the way that we've been kind of cornered as a Chelsea Football Club. We always do well, and I feel that keep the same team. I don't want any changes. Just keep the same team. I don't want to see experimentation with a non-footballer like Timo Werner playing. This guy is literally been fooling us. Please, I've had it enough. This guy needs to go.
Yeah.
Callum Hudson-Odoi, like 4 goals in 5 seasons. Come on, please. I'm like really fed up. I'll go on a rant, Michael. Before
Yeah,
I put that
don't
in
go on a rant. It's not that time of day to go on a rant yet, Ankit. But I think honestly, what's the difference here? Why have performances improved in the attacking phase? That Timberland model up front isn't playing. I literally look at Kai Havertz's goal on the weekend. I called Jorginho a sideways merchant, but that pass was, exceptional. That was an exceptional pass by Jorginho to Kai Havertz, and Havertz is just taking the what's the English phrase for it? I can't remember the English phrase for it, but taking the mantram, I think it is. Is that what it is?
He got a Bergkamp, right? He got a Bergkamp moment.
Let's not go that far. I mean, Bergkamp was an amazing goal, but Kai Havertz did an amazing touch as well. But Lille, I mean, they're improving. They haven't conceded a goal since playing against Chelsea, and they actually destroyed, I think, one of the bottom teams in Ligue 1. They beat Lyon away as well. So Lille, if they get the first goal in that game, it's going to be interesting. But
they might go. That's what we predicted in the other stream. We just spoke about maybe they'll play with Yilmaz and Jonathan David.
Yeah, 4-4-2 sort of formation.
They don't have, I think Sanchez is injured. So
I think so.
So they'll probably go with a 4-4-2, 2 banks of 4, and just put the balls up front, and that's what they're going to play, because Chelsea are susceptible when it comes to set pieces. When it comes to Christensen, for that matter, right? As much as he's performed well, a future Barca player. But anyway, that's how it goes sometimes. But I'll just take this comment. Now, see, as a Mr. Phenomenal, first of all, thank you for the comment. I absolutely understand, as City fans, it's kind of unfair. We play the European card against City a lot of times, but that's again what City has kind of attracted, because we mentioned Lyon. Michael mentioned Lyon. We remember that game against Lyon in the Champions League. So there are moments, and PSG and City, for some reason, they have bottled it. Pep Guardiola picked that side that he did in that final. We all know. So there is a portion that they need to get to the next hurdle, and they will be counted right among the very, very top sides of all time. And I'm not joking with that. Like, once they actually get that Champions League, through.
Yeah.
Because they are having that, but they need to show that. And that's reality in football. You have to show it on the pitch in all competitions to be among the greatest ever. But yeah, EPL, hats off. Like, they have ruled EPL. No two ways about it. I think Dom was in the house. Like, he'll probably tell you about City more. But well, do you think Roman will have? No, absolutely not. He was found, I think, in the airport, Michael, at Istanbul airport. He was pictured. He was probably catching a flight. This guy is like grown beard and whatnot. Like, probably he's become Al Khariji himself. I don't know. But
I'll be honest with you, Ankit. Sorry to cut you off. To be honest with this whole Chelsea FC like ownership and stuff like that, I'm not really going to pay attention to it because the government handle it. I don't want to hear all these rumors about some owners from Saudi Arabia, American owners, Swiss guys. I just want to, when I hear a final statement from the English government on who they're going to sell Chelsea Football Club to, then we'll discuss about it. But I know you want to do the skit about the a-la kids and all that, which is pretty funny. It's a skit, which is good. I mean, right? I know what you mean, but it was good. It was really funny, by the way. And you had the whole, what is the thing called in English? I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I don't know. It was something of head bandana, whatever you call it, right? But yeah, it felt cool. So for me, it is something new to watch at Chelsea Football Club. See, for me, I would not mind anyone as long as the owner is right. That is the bottom line. And again,
what if it's an American?
See, if it's an American by himself who's a huge Chelsea fan, who's probably coming in watching games at Stamford Bridge every summer, be it consortium, absolutely not.
What if it's an FSG type?
I'm not having it, but I have to accept it. But that's what it looks like. Probably chances are that the Wiss, I think the Swiss American Boli, Wiss, and I think another person that I think Boli's worked with. Those three are probably favorites, but again, it's only speculative right now. Like you said,
exactly.
We can only speculate about it.
It's all speculations. We have no clue what's going to happen. It's just a very, very touchy subject, to be honest, as well, because nobody knows what's going to happen. It's the English government and Boris Johnson who have the control of this, and well, we know how
Marina. I think Marina is working very closely for them to put bids together. So probably the ones that they probably want behind the scenes. Marina and Czech and co, who are responsible, they are actually wanting them to bid in a proper manner, because it's not just about the money. It's not just about them building a stadium. It's about them confirming to the government, because the government technically believes that Chelsea is, one for the culture of London. So they want to keep that as well. So that is something that they would read into who will get approved or not. But yeah, I think a lot of news to come, Michael. I think it's too early to.
It's way too early to say anything, to be honest. And hey, they should respect Chelsea. They are the only London club to win the Champions League. That's why I respect Chelsea, at least. I can't respect Arsenal or Tottenham because they haven't won a Champions League.
Every European trophy twice. But yeah, just saying. Just a reminder.
Is that going to be the Conference League as well then?
That's not that. Okay, sorry. I know Michael is now. I can't say that, but yeah, the fact is our Conference League is here to stay for sure. But Michael, great having you. So I think you're probably going for a Liverpool win, I imagine, against Arsenal.
I have to, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm not too confident in the Premier League. We haven't been the greatest there in the Emirates in the last couple of seasons. Yes, at Anfield. If it was Anfield, I would all day 3-0. But at the Emirates, it's been a bit tricky in the last couple of years. I know last season we won 3-0, but I mean Arsenal were absolutely abysmal. So I'm not super confident, but I still think we'll win like 2 or 3-1. That's gonna be my guess.
Yeah. Well, for me, draw would be the best, right? Because I still hope that basically Liverpool and City are going to.
Also, that Chelsea win the Premier League. I see.
There's always that.
Think about if you didn't draw to what was it, Burnley, Everton, and somebody else in a row.
Wolves, that should
And
be
Wolves.
disqualified, man. As in, we literally were on one foot. Every player was on 1 foot.
Yeah.
Wolves, that was not acceptable. But
the away one, right? At Molineux. Is that what? Yeah. That was bad.
We had I think we had about 12 players or something like that, and they still kind of played, But anyway, that's how it goes. But I think every team has its kind of
Of course.
in the season, so it kind of balances out. There is an argument to it. Well, lineups are out. Bruno and Elanga and McTominay starts. Interesting.
Oh,
Let me check it out
God.
quickly before I end the stream because McTominay is a huge shock for me if it's true.
I don't understand what it is with McTominay. Why do people like him? He's just he's the definition of a passion merchant. That's all he is. I don't see what his attributes are. He really is. So I don't get it. I don't understand really. If United really want to be serious about winning Champions League and Premier Leagues, he cannot be in the starting lineup, and surely they're going to realize that in the summer. But I guess we'll look at the lineup and then head out because I gotta go as well.
Yeah. So I'm just reading it out quickly. So David De Gea, Maguire, Ronaldo, Fred, Bruno Fernandes, Varane, Dalo, Sancho, Alex Telles, Elango, McTominay. I think McTominay is only one. So Matic, I'm assuming he is not 100% fit. That is one, but he's on the bench. That might be the thing. But I think Atletico tried. I think DePaul plays. Michael, by the way.
Yes.
DePaul is playing. So that is good news for Michael. I know he's a fan, but yeah, other than that, it's just the usual, right? And they're probably going to be going a lot of defensive in the way they play. That's something that is expected.
They're going to do the same thing as last season against Chelsea in the round of 16. Was it? You guys played against them?
That was disappointing, man.
It was horrible.
16, but disappointing. Like even in the first leg, not even the second leg. First leg, they were so defensive. After the first few minutes, they just sat back.
In the Bucharest, when they had 8 guys in the box. Oh, it's horrible. It's just such anti-football. I got to be honest.
Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. But yeah, absolutely great. And in fact, Ajax, on the other hand, their lineups are interesting because I think, so we have, again, no surprises there. Gravenberg is there. They're going a 4-3-3. I think,
Is Blind starting?
Let me actually try and share it itself quickly, the Ajax one at least, because I am hoping that it's going to be a proper game, that one. That one I'm expecting a much closer game than the United one.
I honestly think it's going to be a very interesting game because Ajax have not been good recently. I mean, people look at their... Okay, what do they... Oh, God, they still got Daley Blind. Oh, no. See, the Rafa Silva and Darwin Núñez, they're going to play like a 4-4-2 Benfica. Everton is going to be on the left wing, and then Julian Weigl and Adel Taarabt, by the way, got a 7th-minute red card over the weekend, people. So just to let you know about Adel Taarabt, the unknown baller. So Rafa Silva on the right wing and Everton on the left wing. I mean, Benfica are going to do the exact same thing as they did in the first leg. Counterattack on the left side of Ajax. And Daley Blind is right there. And Rafa Silva had an amazing game. And I think he'll have another amazing game as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm just kind of bringing up the Manchester United lineup for people who might have missed it quickly before we end it. But I think... this is going to be interesting. The way that Atletico are set up, I think it's going to be, as in definitely Griezmann with him playing. I don't know, he's probably going to be the main playmaker, I assume, no?
Yeah, of course. And then João Felix goes in behind Harry Maguire. It's not that hard to do anyways nowadays. Ankit, can you imagine if Harry Maguire starts for England at the World Cup? They're not winning the World Cup. I'm sorry.
But he's starting, you know that, right?
I can't.
I think even like when it comes to the same thing in goal, Pickford is going to start, not Ramsdale. We probably know that as well.
Yeah, we know it's going to happen, but yeah, I think that's pretty much a predicted lineup for Atleti. I don't think they're unchanged. I think from the weekend against Cadiz, and they got to improve massively because that Cadiz performance was atrocious. Oh my god, it was atrocious. Oh god, I hate watching them sometimes, but I absolutely love João Felix and Rodrigo de Paul. Please leave, guys, leave Diego Simeone, leave from the shackles. I beg you.
Yeah, well said there. Absolutely. But yeah, looking forward to the games. And I just ended the poll. The chat actually believes that it will be Manchester United and Ajax, which will be going through. But again, I am expecting closer games tonight than tomorrow. Again, just as a Chelsea fan saying that. But again, thanks a lot for Michael to be coming on short notice. Yes, do check out Michael Talks Football. I'll add a link in the description below. But you know it, Michael Talks Football. He is on one of the featured channels on our channel. Certainly highly recommended, and of course, we will have him very soon. Hopefully, when Chelsea get back in the title race, Michael. That's what I
think. Nice try. When Chelsea are fighting for top 4, is that what you mean?
Come on. We're having that for sure.
Yeah,
but yeah,
of course,
great having you as always. But again, a lot of people watching right now, do smash the like button. And we'll be back tomorrow for the Barca stream, including a lot of Europa League talk and some ISL talk as well. Special panel at that. That's at, I think, 9:30 p.m. IST. And we'll meet soon with Michael as well. Till next time, take care and up the Chelsea. All the best to Liverpool against Arsenal.